Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Kai Reed. We are interrupting Tamron Hall to bring you some breaking news. The state attorney general has released a redacted report on child sex abuse in the Archdiocese of Baltimore. This report is 456 pages long and the product of a 4-year-long investigation. We do want to highlight some of the big takeaways here for you. The first page includes a list of credibly accused abusers. There are 156 names there. 10 are redacted because, quote, they were not known to be deceased at the time of the report and had not previously been listed as credibly accused by the Archdiocese of Baltimore or otherwise publicly identified. That leads to the introduction and this statement, quote, what was consistent throughout was the absolute authority and power these abusive priests and church leadership held over victims, their families, and their communities. The investigation found that abusers singled out children who were devoted to the church or vulnerable because they were shy or dealt with problems at home. Abusers presented themselves as protectors and friends and, quote, groomed the victims with presence and special attention, and some threatened that the victim or victim's family would go to hell if they told anyone. Another highlight of this report is the lack of action if allegations were brought up. Many times the abuser would be transferred to another parish with no warning to parishioners of the prior abuse. Certain parishes also had multiple abusers. St. Mark Parish in Catonsville had 11 abusers from 1964 until 2004. 4 parishes had 6 abusers and 3 parishes had 5 abusers. This report also lists 2 recommendations. One is to amend the statute of limitations for civil actions involving child sex abuse. Currently, Maryland is on track to pass legislation to make that happen. The second recommendation is to expand public accountability because the investigation found that abuse also came from non-clerical members. The Attorney General wants the Archdiocese to consider expanding its list of credibly accused. So before the report's release, 11 News heard from State Attorney General Anthony Brown. He called this a day of reckoning and a day of accounting. Here's a portion of what he had to say.
More than 300 people contacted our office, and our investigators reached out and interviewed hundreds of survivors and witnesses that led to more survivors and witnesses. Many who came forward had told their story before, and for some, it was the first time. And what we learned is that the incontrovertible history uncovered by this investigation is one of pervasive, pernicious, and persistent abuse by priests and other Archdiocese personnel.
Well, let's go back here and take a look at how we got here. The report was signed off for release on Tuesday after some last-minute redactions. There was a possibility of it never being released because much of the information in the report was obtained through a grand jury. In November 2022, then Attorney General Brian Frosh sought the court's permission to waive that grand jury privilege. Then in February of this year, a judge ruled a redacted version of the report could be released. Those redactions included the names of victims. Today, you will hear from some of those victims. An expert will also discuss how any victim of sexual abuse can seek help. And 11 News anchor Jason Newton will have an exclusive interview with Archbishop William Lori reacting to this report. Right now, our team is reading over the report to bring you in-depth coverage on air and online. Stay with 11 News for those updates starting today at 4 o'clock.